Good evening, readers, and I welcome you for this Friday's show of question and answers. Let's begin today's show by taking the first question. The first question of the day is coming from Ranjit Roy. He is based in Siliguri. So he asks, he wants to show motion in water while shooting landscapes that includes waterfall, or shooting landscapes that includes sea waves. So how I can achieve this? Well, I would like to break this question into 2-3 different parts while answering to you. The first thing, to show the motion for the water in your landscapes, you need to choose the slower shutter speed. That is number one. Number two, as you have decided to shoot at slower shutter speed, you need to keep your camera on a rock steady support. So for this, you need to have a good quality of tripod that will allow you to stabilize your camera while you are shooting with a slower shutter speed. Next important thing, as the water from the waterfall or from the sea might be spraying some splashes, so you need to keep your camera at a very safe distance and compose your frame. I would suggest you take as much time as possible to compose your frame. Don't hurry up. Next thing, as I have suggested, use the longer shutter speed. I suggest you to go to the location at the appropriate time. So it's early morning or late in the evening. The lighting condition will allow you to use slower shutter speeds. If that is not possible, I would ask you to put a variable ND or ND filter onto your lens, which will allow you to slow down your shutter speed. The most important part is actual framing or the composition. Take as much time as possible to set up your camera on the tripod and frame it properly. Use correct lens with a stop down aperture. Use a smaller aperture of say f11 or f16. So everything will be in focus and rest of the image will have excellent sharpness. The second question of the day is coming from Prasad Galvankar. He is from Nagpur. He is asking how I can adjust the exposure in my scene in which there is a big area which is brighter and a very small area which is darker. Well, Prasad, I can imagine a situation if you are shooting a portrait in a window. So the light is coming from outside and hitting the face of a person standing in the window, but the light outside is much brighter than the light which is being thrown through the window on the subject face. So there is a large exposure difference between the outside and the inside. So there are many ways with which you can overcome this situation. The easiest way is to use field flash, and I will suggest to use the flash in manual mode, because the background, which is a large part of the window, will not force the flash gun to underexpose the image. So you can gauge the distance from your flash gun or the camera of the subject where it is standing at the window and adjust the flash manually to get the correct exposure for that distance. The second thing is, if you are not having a flash or your camera doesn't have the inbuilt flash, I would suggest you take a single image. Definitely shoot in RAW for this purpose. Shoot a single image by adjusting the exposure for the background. So that is the outside of the window. You adjust the exposure, focus and frame the image properly, and during the post process try to get the details from the shadow areas. The third slightly difficult way is to shoot a kind of a HDR. So shoot two images, one for which the exposure is for the outside world, and other one is with the exposure which is for the person standing in the frame, for that inside the house or inside the window. But in this case, you have to be very careful that your subject or your framing should not change, because after shooting these two images, you will be taking these two images onto your computer and merging it together with the help of a photo editing software to get the balanced exposure. You can adjust the correct exposure in post process for this difficult situation. The final question of this day is coming from Navneet Arora from Chandigarh. He is asking, he is having a old manual and thyristor auto flash gun. He wants to know, with this flash gun, how he can gauge the distance at which he can shoot from the subject. Well, Navneet, there is a slight maths or specification kind of thing involved to get the subject to camera or subject to flash gun distance. You need to know the guide number of the flash. It might be a built-in the camera flash or external flash gun which you are using on your hot shoe. And the formula for this is really simple. Once you get the guide number, guide number will be available in meters or feet. So taking into consideration the guide number and the aperture what you are adjusting onto your lens, these are the two parameters, and the third parameter is the distance. So as you know the two parameters, the guide number and the f-stop on the lens what you are using, the formula would be the distance. To calculate the distance, just divide the guide number of your flash gun with the aperture number or the f-stop to get the final distance. So a broad example would be, if your built-in flash or the external flash as you talk is having a guide number of 100, and if you are shooting with f4, so just divide 100 by f4. So 100 divided by 4 is 25. So if it is 100 guide number is for feet, so your distance you can shoot from the subject would be 25 feet. If it is in meters, it will be 25 meters. So you need to first get the guide number of your flash gun, what you are using. Maybe it is a inbuilt or the external one. Well, this comes to the end of this Friday's show. Thank you readers and viewers for joining. See you next Friday. Bye.